We're good to go.
All right, let's go. Welcome. I hope everyone has a nice armless chair. We're going to start out with some seated postures. We're going to move all our joints, move our spine in all its different directions. And then we'll do some standing poses. And then we'll come down to the mat or your towel, whatever you have available. So in your chair, you want to come to a chair Tadasana. That means your knees are out straight in front of your hips. Your ankles are right underneath your knees so that your feet aren't way out or tucked in. They're straight down under and your toes are pointed ahead. Even if you have a natural inclination to turn in or turn out, go ahead and turn your toes to face forward. And make sure you're not leaning up against the back of your chair. There's some space between your spine and the back of the chair. And then sit up nice and tall, root your sitting bones down into the chair, and think of lengthening your spine. Think of having a puppet string at the top of your head, reaching you up and pulling up, and you feel all those muscles start to engage up your sides. And then keep your hands either on your lap, or you might let them dangle at your sides to give yourself a little more range of motion, and sync your breath with your movement. So as you inhale, pull your shoulders up towards your ears, roll them back and open across your chest, and then exhale and let them come down. And do that again. Inhale, lift, roll back, exhale down. Do that a few more times. Inhale, we hold a lot of tension in our necks and shoulders. So this will start to release some of that. Let's get some movement. Generally, when we're doing yoga poses, we want our shoulders to be relaxing down away from our ears. But this is good just to get the shoulder joints and shoulder blades moving. Go ahead. And now just let your hands rest in your lap. Generally, with your palms up, that is a posture of receptivity. But if you have anxiety or if you're just having a day, you might want your palms down, and that's more grounding, and it's more of a downward energy. So depending on what you need on any given day. Now, let your shoulders relax down, lift the crown of your head up toward the ceiling, and then with an exhale, turn and look over your left shoulder. I'm mirroring. Inhale back into center and rotate the other way. So everything is staying facing forward. You're just moving at your neck at this point. Exhale, look over your left shoulder. Inhale, center. Exhale, right. And let's do that one more time. And don't worry if you can't turn your head that far. We all have our own range of motion. And come back to center. Make sure your shoulders are still relaxed and soft. Inhale, reach the crown of your head toward the ceiling. And now drop your right ear towards your right shoulder. Lift your left ear up toward the ceiling. So mainly you'll feel that over here on the left side. A good stretch here. Let's take a few breaths, lowering your shoulders. Think of lifting your left ear up. And now for a few breaths, go ahead and rotate your head so that your nose is pointing towards the ground. And you feel that stretch move a little bit towards the back of your neck, that muscle group. Still on the left side, but towards the back. Rotate till you're facing forward again. Bring your head up to center. Inhale. And then exhale the other way. Drop your left ear to your left shoulder. Lift your right ear toward the ceiling. Few breaths here. Checking in that your shoulders aren't bunching up to come up towards your ears. They're still down. Lifting that top ear. Big stretch. And then go ahead and revolve. Take your nose toward the mat, toward the ground. Just for a couple breaths here. Slow, deep breaths. And then bring your face back to center and lift your head up and roll your shoulders a few times. Excuse me. So now sit up nice and tall. Let your arms fall down to your sides again. So your palms are facing in. As you inhale, take your arms forward. Your thumbs are leading the way. Let them come all the way up. Touch your hands together. Exhale and lower your hands down through the center. And bring them down to your sides again. Inhale, reach up. Exhale down the center. Do that twice more. Notice the lengthening of your sides as you're reaching up. And exhale down. Shoulders are going to lift a little bit, but go ahead and make sure they're relaxed. This time, clasp your hands except for your pointers. So you've got, I don't know, is this like Charlie's Angels or something? So you've got clasped hands and your pointers, but up above your head. Inhale here and reach up. Exhale and lean to your right. Oh, really feel the length, stretching there. Inhale up to center. You're going to go to the right 2 more times. Reaching up and over. It's not so much a fold. It's a big stretch. Open up your sides. We don't do this very often. It's my favorite. Inhale up to center, and this time we'll go the other way 3 times. Exhale. Inhale up. Exhale. Last time, really feel that stretch from your fingertips down to your hip bone. Come back to center, release the clasp of your hands. Exhale down, and let's just take a breath here. Just let your hands rest. You can close your eyes. You can round and roll your shoulders, or rotate your neck. All the movements that we made previously, just kind of loosen everything back up. And let your hands come down next to you again. This time, rotate, but not just your hands. It's coming from your shoulders. So notice that when we do our daily stuff, on the phone, on the computer, driving, knitting, reading a book, whatever, we have this inward, internal rotation in our shoulders. So what we're going for here is this outward and rolling back. You can feel your shoulder blades move closer to each other on your back. Thumbs pointing out, palms of hands facing forward. And then inhale, bring your arms all the way up. Palms touch, exhale, down the center. Again, inhale out and wide. This is a whole different shoulder movement. Exhale down. 2 more. Inhale. Up, side lengthening. Exhale down. Last time, you're going to inhale up. And then as you exhale, you're going to take your left hand across your body and your right arm behind you. Now, depending on your chair, you can either grab the bottom of your seat or the back of your chair. I can't very comfortably get my elbow here. It's a high back chair. But you're going to grab onto the back for some leverage. Press into your feet. Reach the crown of your head up so you're getting all kinds of length. And then exhale, turn your shoulders, turn your gaze. Inhale, lengthen your spine. Exhale and twist. So your hips are facing forward and your shoulders face the side. One more time. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale. Deepen your twist. And then just release everything and come back to face forward again. Hands at your sides. Inhale, widen out. Now go the other direction. Right arm comes across, left arm comes behind. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. 2 more big breaths like that. You can use your hand along your thigh for a little leverage to help you deepen your twist. And then come forward. And again, take a moment to just kind of loosen everything up. So we've moved our cervical spines, twisted it, stretched it laterally. Your spine, we've moved it laterally and twisted it. And now the last 2 movements of your spine are extension and flexion. So scoot forward, make sure there's plenty of room behind you. Hands on your knees. As you inhale, bend your elbows and pull your heart forward. And you might feel a little lift in your sitting bones and a little curve in your low back. This is full extension. This is cow pose. Exhale, straighten your arms, tuck your chin. Now press your spine to the back of your chair. You're all curled in. This is cat pose, flexion. Inhale, forward. And exhale, back. A few more times, just like that. Inhale. Excuse me, exhale. This time when you come forward, you're going to start to circle. Lean off to your right. Exhale. Into the back, all curled in. Inhale, up the left side. Exhale. Let's try to keep your breath the same. Inhale and full at front. Exhale, empty at the back. And the next time you come forward, change directions. Exhale down the left. Up. And then come. Shrink your circles and come up to seated. Scoot forward a little more than your chair. Take your right leg forward and really ground through your left foot. Press down. Every time when you press down through your foot, you can feel a little lift in your seat. Feel yourself lengthen. It's really good. It just engages everything. So flex your foot. Point your toes up toward the ceiling. Go ahead and move our ankles a little bit. As you exhale, point your toes. And then inhale and bring it back up. Do that 2 more times. Point. You can feel that in your ankle and maybe in the lower part of your kneecap. And end up with your foot flexed. Glad I washed my feet. Sit up nice and tall here. And then just hinging right here at your hip joints. Keep your spine nice and straight and just start to tip forward. And you don't have to go far. You will know. Using this leg as a brake, and you're stretching from your hamstrings. They start at your sitting bones, and they come all the way down the back of your leg, and they insert at the back of the calf. So you're feeling a stretch over 2 joints here. This foot is keeping you nice and secure in the chair. You can hold on to your chair legs. Maybe if you have blocks, you can put your hands on your blocks under your shoulders and keep pulling your toes back towards you, and that will help the stretch. It will intensify it. Just one more breath here. Keep lengthening your spine as you inhale, deepening your fold as you exhale. And then press into your left foot and bring yourself all up. And we'll just change sides. So extend your left foot out. Shoulders, check in with everything. Grounding through your right foot, reaching up to the crown of your head. Let's go ahead and exhale and point. And then inhale and flex. Do that 3 more times. Notice where you feel it. Another thing you can do when you're flexing is try to spread your toes. So we wear shoes all the time and our toes are squished. Last time. Flex your foot, sit up nice and tall, and just folding here at the hips. Start to come forward. You could be at 90 degrees, and that's plenty. Just depends on how stretchy your hamstrings are, how often you do this. You want to feel something transformational, not pain, no pain. You can always back off a little bit with your inhale and then go a little deeper with your exhale. So one more deep breath. And bring yourself up. And stretched on the back of your legs. You can scoot back a little bit. We'll do one more seated pose, and this one will focus more on our hips. If you have a block, you might need it. I'll tell you first what we're going to do. We're going to do a pigeon. So you would take your right ankle over your left thigh, and you want to make sure it's all the way over and you have room to circle. Okay, you don't want it like this, where you can't move it, because then you end up with a, this is the beginning of a sprain. So make sure it's all the way over. If it can't come all the way up for you on both sides or either side, you can use a block, or I don't know what you have handy, a big can of tomatoes. Put the block there, and you make sure that you keep your foot flexed and strong so that you don't have that sickling, that sprain there. And then you just let your thigh fall out. Because what we're going for is this external rotation, this opening here at your thigh, to whatever degree works for you. So I'm going to do it up here. Uh-oh, Vader. Here. Sorry, I need it. Just edit that out. Sit up nice and tall with your foot flexed. You want to make sure that you're pressing down into your grounded leg. And then start to tip forward, just like we did with our legs stretched out in front of us. Now you might not go as far, and all of a sudden you're going to feel it right here in this outer hip. It's a big stretch. This is really good because we sit so much, especially the last several months. I don't know about you guys, but I'm sitting a lot more. And going places and doing things, so it's hard to get enough activity. You can use your arm as a brace. Put it above your knee and below your knee like a capital letter A. You don't want to put lateral pressure right on the knee, above and below. It's just going to have to stay here. Take a few more breaths, lengthening your spine, and then deepening. Marty. He's mostly deaf and blind, so telling him what to do doesn't work. Now start to bring yourself back up. Leave your leg crossed, and then we'll take a moment and just give yourself a little foot massage. Use your thumbs and really dig in. Use the knuckles and go side to side, all the way down like a ladder, all the way down. Your foot all the way back again. Make sure you get the top, get between your toes. Those long bones. And then we'll go ahead and switch sides. Bring your right foot down. And bring your left ankle over and or maybe to your block. It doesn't have to be the same side to side. Since we're not the same side to side, just you make sure that your ankle's all the way over and that you have room to circle. Sit up nice and tall, press down into your rooted foot, mix the crown of your head up, maybe put your brace here, and then start to come forward. And the weight on your leg helps press it out. This is a really good stretch. Make sure your chin is in so the back of your neck is long, not jutting forward with the chin. Inhaling. Exhale a little deeper. Anytime you can close your eyes during yoga, kind of a bonus. And then bring yourself up. Massage. Lift. Again. Up, behind. Block is in. Sorry. I have 5 dogs, so it's really not bad. And go ahead and release your foot. Give yourself one last little shoulder roll or neck rotation. And then we're going to come to standing. One of the things that helps as you get older to remember when you stand up is to try not to use the arms of your chair so much. Use your legs. Press down. Feel that energy. Engage your legs and press down to stand up. And just let that be your little mantra inside your head. Press down to rise. Press down to rise. And that will serve you to get over. So we'll start out, we're going to do that little Kalari warm-up. Kalari is the Indian martial art that's kind of sister to yoga. So you can hold on to your chair. Put all your weight into your right foot. And then just start to circle your left foot, rolling over your toes. So most of the action here is that your toes, ankle, the other direction. And then switch sides. Either love this or you hate it. I'm not going to say how I feel about it. Kale. Kale for your toes. Now bring your legs together. So they're all together. Hands slide down to above your knees and bend your knees so you're doing a little forward squat. And then just start to circle your knees either direction. And this is also involving your ankles. Go the other direction. And your hips. And the ankle bone's connected to the knee bone. Center at center. And go ahead and come stand up. Take your hands to your hips. Step your feet a little bit wide, maybe hip width, maybe a tiny bit wider, just to give you a nice secure base. And start to circle your hips. You're alone in your living room and nobody can see it, just go for it. And that, of course, is going to involve your knees and your spine. Go the other direction. And come up to standing. You can keep your feet right where they are. Just let your arms hang at your sides and start to twist. You don't want your knees locked. You don't want this going down into your knees. So soften your knees a little bit. Your hips are going to move. Your shoulders are going to move. And let your arms flap and swing. Just moving your spine. More vigorous twist. Not terribly vigorous, but more than see. And then come back to center. And bring your hands up to your shoulders. Your elbows out wide. With an exhale, bring your elbows into center to touch. Inhale, lift them up. Take them out and around. Same thing. Do that a few times. Inhaling up. Exhale out and down. And now go the other direction. Down. And then go ahead and release. Shake out your hands and wrists. And I'm going to put my chair aside. And let's go first to tree pose. Let's do balancing. Balancing is important, especially on some of the windy days that we've had lately. Might feel a little, and just with the climate and the news and what's going on in the world, you might feel a little off. So this is good to help you ground. Put all your weight into your right foot. A little flex in your knee, a little bend. You don't want it locked and pushing back. Soften it up a little bit. And then kickstand your left and turn it out. And then bring your foot either to your calf. I'll go ahead and offer this, but unless you do this regularly, either hold on to your chair or wait until you have, good balance. You can bring your foot all the way up to your inner thigh. And you press your foot into your thigh and your thigh back into your foot. And different days on different ways. I'm just going to keep mine down here because I'm a little wobbly today. I said different days, different ways. Keep grounding through your standing foot. Reach the crown of your head up and press the palms of your hands together. You can do this holding onto your chair. My chair was right here. Hold on to it with my right hand. This is a lot of work right here. This muscle keeping up. Step your feet out. Make a couple of hip circles or half circles. Some people like to do a little kind of Charleston thing back. And then switch sides. Again, if you're going to use your chair, hold on to it with your standing leg. Stand on your left foot. Kickstand the right. And turn your leg out. And now bring your foot up to your calf or to your thigh. It seems very handy to hook. I mean, it's like a jigsaw puzzle. To hook it right there on your knee, not good for your knee. Don't do that. Below or above. You don't want to put sideways pressure because you're pressing your foot into your leg and your leg back into your foot. You don't want to put pressure on a hinge joint. Few breaths here. Press down to ground. Crown of your head up. Wobbling is fine. And then let's step out of it. And a few more hip circles. Now come back up to standing. Step your feet out a little wider and turn your toes out. So your toes are out and your heels are in. Take your hands to your thighs. Your shoulders will rise up towards your ears in this posture, and that's okay. You're going to bend your knees and let your hands slide down. They're going to stop before they get to your knees because you don't want that sideways pressure on the hinge joint. But then you're going to let all your weight shift into your arms and press your thighs open. This is temple pose. And you might have to adjust your feet. You want your ankles more or less under your knees. So you can see how my shoulders are up around my ears. My arms are locked and pressing back. And my legs are not really weight bearing a lot here at all. Because it's in my arms. And you can take a little shifting side to side. I often get a good release up in around my neck and my shoulders. But the main thing you're doing here, this is opening across your hips. Now press into your legs, press down to rise, straighten, turn your toes in, then inhale, lift your arms up, and as you exhale, just swan dive forward. You want to bend right here again at your hip creases, keeping your spine as straight as you can into a forward fold. Now, it doesn't matter if your hands make it to the mat or not. You can use blocks. You can bend your knees a little bit. You can take your legs further apart so there's a shorter distance. But once you land, go ahead and let your head hang. Shake your head no. And then shake your head yes. You're feeling a big stretch across your hamstrings, the backs of your legs. And this is a good lengthening for your spine. And with your next inhale, come halfway up. Turn to face the top of your mat. And then lower your back knee. And take your front knee back to meet it. And end up at hands and knees. Facing, this is the top of my mat. Yeah, you want your knees under your hips, your wrists under your shoulders, spread your fingers as wide as you can, distribute that weight more. You want these little creases here to be more or less parallel to the top of your mat so that you don't want your arms turned in, that internal rotation. or F. You want them nice and straight, and that's to protect your shoulders. We'll do cat and cow here. We did it in the chair. This is how it looks here. You pull your heart forward, and you lift your sitting bones up, and now I've got a dip in my low back, but I'm not doing this. Okay, I'm pressing away. As you exhale, tuck your pelvis under, tuck your chin, and lift your spine to the ceiling. Keep doing that with breath. Inhale, cow pose, like that bony butt on a cow. Exhale, cat, an angry cat or scared cat. A couple more times. And then come back to neutral. Walk your hands forward and then tilt yourself forward so that your shoulders are over your wrists again. But now notice that I'm in a straight line from my knees up to the crown of my head. This is knee plank. This is full plank. We're not doing knee plank. As you exhale, come back towards, this is child's pose. Press your hips towards your feet. I'll alternate between these two poses a few times. Inhale, knee plank. Exhale, child's pose. Do that 2 more times. Don't forget to match your breath. Helps you slow down your movement, be more aware. Now come back up to neutral, walk your hands back, and come all the way up to kneeling. Sit back, big stretch. So either with your toes tucked under or your feet flat. Take your hands to your sides. Inhale and reach your hands out in front of you. Exhale, flip them and do kind of like a breaststroke. Press back. Inhale forward. Exhale and press back. One more time. Inhale forward. Exhale and press back. And this time you're going to hook your hands on the back of your pelvis bone. Your whole pelvic girdle goes all the way around. You can either have your fingertips up, or you can have them sideways, or you can have them down. But in any event, you are literally pressing down so that you're scooping under and roll your shoulders back. Press your elbows towards each other. And try not to dip and bow your belly out and get a big low back bend. You want to try to keep that nice and straight up and down. Roll your shoulders and lift your heart up. And it's an upper back bend. Think of if you're trying to make yourself look like a candy cane. And now from here, bring your hands back down. And just go ahead and snake your spine out with your hips side to side or make circles. Just get some loose movement there, whatever feels good to you. Let your body be your guide. Again, you're in your living room. Not that anybody would judge you if you did this in a yoga class. Now back at center, take your right leg out to the side and then bring your hands up to your waist. You can either leave your foot square or you can come onto your heel and point your toes up toward the ceiling. If you have your foot flat, then everything is facing forward and neutral. If you're up on your heel, you've got an external rotation here. Take your arms out. As you inhale, bring your left hand down, your right arm up and over, making a straight line from fingertips right down to your toes. And then exhale, go the other way. Slide your right hand down your leg, lift your left arm up and over. That 2 more times. It helps to have a block here sometimes. I should have said that earlier, sorry. Forward. And one more time. You can just let your hand slide down your thigh. Back to neutral. Bring your hands down. Swing your right knee in. And take your left leg out. Same thing, same options. All the way up. So everything is facing front, your shoulders, your ribs, your hips. You might have that external rotation. And take your arms out. And maybe have a block right here, just to bring the floor up to you. Inhale, this is like reverse warrior. Long, long line. And then exhale forward. Twice more. Inhale, up, over, reach. Exhale. And one. And come back to neutral. Bring your hands down. Bring your knee in under you. And once again, just snake out your spine. You can do a little cat-cow here, if that's what you need. Circle, you can mix it up and incorporate cat-cow with your circles. And then from here, either swing your legs out to the side, cross and roll over your ankles. And we're going to come onto our backs. Roll to your back. No, roll back up. It's like, sit up nice and tall with your hands on your knees. Sorry. And just start to make some circles. And which direction? We're going to go both directions. So you're really grounding through your sitting bones. And just moving your spine, being fluid. See if you find a spot that feels so good. Really needs a good stretch. Change your direction, whichever way you started out. And then come up to center. Sit up nice and tall. And start to crawl your hands forward. Keep your spine straight. And there's no goal for this. You'll feel a nice little stretch in your low back. Keep your spine straight. Keep your chin in. Maybe if you go pretty far and you want to rest your head, you might use your block. I really recommend if you're going to have a home yoga practice, get yourself some good blocks. And then bring yourself back up. And my personal preference, and I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, in either hugger, mugger, or Gaia, because they have a certain amount of weight to them. Some of them are too light. Roll back. And cross your ankles the other way. This will be the awkward way for you. Sit up nice and tall. And just make a few circles each direction. Notice how it feels different with your not dominant leg in the front. And then sit up nice and tall. Lengthen first. And then start to walk hands forward. And come forward. You want to keep your spine straight as you're coming forward, but once you reach where you're going, you can relax a little bit. You can let your neck relax. Have a little curl in your spine. Walk your hands back, and now we'll come on to our backs. We'll go right into what's called Happy Baby. So in Happy Baby, you take each hand to its respective foot, take your knees wide, wider than your ribs, and then unbend your knees and bring your feet up over your knees. So it's kind of like temple, which we did at standing. That's kind of the leg shape. But you can see why it's called Happy Baby. And you can start rocking side to side. Pressing one thigh toward the mat and then the other. And then release your feet, bring your feet together, bring your knees together. And then without much fanfare, just let both your knees and your legs drop over to the right. You'll feel your left hip lift up off the mat, but you want to keep your left shoulder on the mat. So it's a twist. You can take your right hand to the top of your thigh, your left arm. You can extend your left arm out, and if it's comfortable on your neck, take your gaze to the left. You don't have to do that. But since your neck is part of your spine, you might want to get that whole continuum. Just a couple breaths here. Really let yourself start to feel heavy. And bring your knees into center, towards your chest, and then just let them drop off to the left. Same thing, your right hip will lift, stretch your right arm out, if that's okay, on your shoulder and your chest. If you need to have your arm down lower, that's fine. Bend your elbow, whatever you need. Be comfortable, and really think about getting heavy here. No resistance. And come back to center. And we're going to go to Shavasana, corpse pose. So you stretch your legs out and just let your legs fall open naturally. Take your arms to your sides, away from your body. Let some air circulate. Your palms facing up. And if this is uncomfortable for you, being on your back, you can either take your feet mat width apart, bend your knees, and then let your knees tip into center and support each other. That takes the strain out of your low back. Or you could put a rolled up blanket or a pillow or a bolster or something under your thighs. And the final option is for you to come sit for meditation. Comfortable position. matter where you are, close your eyes. Take a big inhale through your nose and let it sigh out your mouth. That again. One more time. Let yourself get heavy. Keep focusing on your breath. Count it in and out, same number. 3, 4, maybe 5. Start to scan your body. Feel your heels touching your calves, thighs, and your hips. Your shoulders, backs of your arms, backs of your hands, to your head, heavy, resting. As your thoughts wander, bring them back to your breath, to your